They say peace is priceless. Well, if that's true, then my little farm tucked away past the river and far from the reach of sirens and neighbor drama was worth more than any mansion in this whole town, hands down. I'm John Hale, third-generation farmer-owner of Hale Acres, a stretch of dirt pines and memory passed down from my granddad. God rest his stubborn soul. Out here you wake up to roosters and sleep to the hum of cicadas. No traffic, no HOA newsletters stuck in your mailbox, just the sound of your own boots, and the seasons rolling by one honest day after another. Now, there's only two ways in and out of my property. First is a gravel snake of a road winding over the hills full of potholes, washouts, and the occasional suicidal deer. Takes about an hour if you don't break an axle. The other way, the only sane way, is my wooden bridge across the Thompson River, 10 minutes to the edge of town if you don't mind the odd plank creak under your tires. That bridge, she's mine legally, spiritually, and by the sweat of my brow. I sanded the rails, replaced the planks, and shored up the pilings myself more times than I care to count. That bridge is a part of me, just like this land is. Across the river, though, sits River Glen, a shiny little suburb with perfect lawns, American flags, and houses that look like they got printed out of a magazine. You know, the type governed by an HOA, Homeowners Association, capital H for headache or hell depending on the day. Their president is Karen Summers, 50-something, always in a tennis skirt or a beige pantsuit, never seen without a clipboard or sunglasses. She's tried everything short of bribery to pull me and my land into their little fiefdom pamphlets. Welcome baskets one time, even a fake compliance notice. That almost made me laugh. Thing is, my land's not under their thumb. The county confirms it, the deeds prove it, but that never stopped Karen from hovering, looking for an angle. She always had some new trick. One Monday morning, she comes marching down my road with two board members in tow, looking like a suburban general headed to war while I'm elbow deep fixing a busted irrigation pipe. "Mr. Hale, we need to speak about your bridge," she says, fake smile in full force, ignoring the mud on my jeans. "We're about to break ground on a waterfront pier," she says. "Kayak launches, paddleboard docks, investors lined up permits pending, you name it. But my bridge apparently is in the way. Too low blocks the flow. I told her the river hasn't flowed since the flood of 2011, and if her paddleboards can't figure out a way around, well, they're not trying hard enough." Then one of her board minions pipes up, "We're asking you to raise it or remove it in the next few days." I laughed. My wife's about to have our first kid. "You want to talk? Come back in a few weeks. I got a farm to run and a child to catch." Karen's smile shriveled behind her sunglasses. "This isn't a suggestion, Mr. Hale." She turned and walked away, her heels clicking like she thought the bridge was lucky to have her walk on it. Her minions scurried after her, and I just watched them disappear, feeling that old twinge in my gut, not fear, just knowing something was about to go sideways. Next morning, while I'm sipping coffee, I spot a white SUV creeping down my path. Only one person drives like they own the county, and sure enough, Karen steps out this time in a pantsuit folder in hand, like she's about to hand me a subpoena. "I'm here on official HOA business," she says, and gives me a paper stamped River Glen Homeowners Association Environmental Compliance Directive. Fancy, I'll give her that. Says my bridge is a navigational hazard. I've got 72 hours to remove or raise it. I couldn't help but laugh. "This bridge is older than your HOA." She didn't even blink. "We're not here to argue history. The river belongs to the community. My bridge, my land," I said, tapping the paper. She got all pinched, looking something desperate flickering across her face. "You have no idea how important this project is." "Try me," I said. She just shook her head. "It's confidential. Investors don't like delays." That word investors stuck like a splinter. By lunchtime, local gossip pages are buzzing. River Glen HOA is going to revitalize the riverfront. Private docks, boat rentals, even a boutique cafe. It wasn't about the community. It was business. I didn't say anything to my wife Mallory, 38 weeks pregnant, exhausted, glowing, and worried enough as it was. No need to stress her more. That evening, fixing the generator, I overheard voices across the river. Karen and a man in a ball cap. "You promised returns this quarter. he snapped. "I will deliver, but he's stonewalling us." There it was. My bridge wasn't just in the way of paddleboards, it was in the way of their payday. Saturday morning, peace shattered like always, right when you think you got a minute to breathe. Mallory woke up pale and trembling. "I think I need help," she whispered. Dizzy, heart racing, not just labor. "Something's wrong." I called 911, and they said an ambulance would be there in 50 minutes. Normally, I'd throw her in the pickup and burn down the road, but wouldn't. Truck wouldn't start. Starter dead, no backup, nobody around on a weekend but me, my wife, and a couple of tractors. I was pacing the driveway like a caged animal when the EMTs called back, "We're at the bridge, but there's a pile of debris blocking the way. Can't risk the rig." My blood ran cold. You can't cross. Not without risking the vehicle. We can reroute, but that'll add at least an hour and a half. I didn't hang up, I just ran. Picked up. Mallory carried her half a mile to the bridge, lungs burning. Met the paramedics on the bridge. Thank God for them. But the bridge was blocked, a mountain of trash, furniture, busted fence panels, even a broken kayak with a River Glen HOA sticker. We got over it, got her in the ambulance. That day felt endless, but Eli was born just before sundown, healthy and loud. I cried like a kid, relief, gratitude, everything hitting at once. Didn't think about that pile of trash for a couple days. Newborn wife recovering, life full and noisy. But then I saw it, garbage still there, reeking raccoons, having a field day bridge looking like the county dump. And as I walked the perimeter, I saw trash bags with bright orange HOA stickers, River Glen Waste Day. Not subtle. I took photos, started digging, found half the neighborhood's construction debris, planters, fencing, even a charcoal grill with a note, "Free, take me." I called the sheriff. Ray, old school, not a fan of HOAs, took one look, muttered, "Damn HOA again." I showed him my security footage, 2 a.m. A truck from Glen Waste Services dumping trash on my bridge. Ray wrote it all down. I called Mitch, my old high school buddy, at County Records. Turns out there's a new project filed under Summer Properties LLC, registered 2 months back, some kind of ecotourism peer development with Karen Summers, and Craig Mills, River Glen's treasurer, listed on the paperwork. I took everything, photos, documents, registry info, HOA, letters, back to the sheriff. Ray grimaced. "This is more than dumping. This is obstruction of emergency services, criminal mischief, environmental violations, and possible conspiracy." EMT dash cam footage sealed the deal. Ambulance stopped at the blocked bridge, incident report filed. Suddenly the county was moving fast. Investigation blew up Glen Waste, subpoenaed payments traced straight to Karen Summers through the HOA's discretionary fund. Karen was arrested, the press was there, and for once she didn't have a clipboard, just handcuffs and a gray hoodie, sunglasses off her mask slipping. Craig Mills tried to claim ignorance, but the paper trail nailed him. Emails, memos, HOA funds rerouted to their pet project, no resident approval, no board meeting minutes, just 2 signatures and a hidden slush fund. Court wasn't fancy linoleum buzzing lights, a judge who looked like he'd rather be fishing. But the dash cam footage, the 911 call, and the LLC docs told the story. Karen's lawyer called her a misguided community leader. The judge wasn't buying it. Why was a private citizen using HOA funds to sabotage private property, he kept asking. Beth, my lawyer, was a civil bulldog. She dug and cornered Karen on the stand. Karen tried to deny, then admitted she may have authorized the cleanup, but didn't know about the emergency. Beth didn't flinch. "Are you saying you had no idea you'd block the only fast access to a home with a pregnant woman in distress?" Karen just froze. Judge took 2 days, then laid it out. Karen, 9 months county jail, $37,000, fine, community service. Craig, probation, restitution, barred from any financial office for 5 years. HOA, full audit, third-party oversight. The judge said, "This case isn't just about negligence. It's about ego entitlement and the disaster of putting profit over people. Mr. Hale's family suffered. You weaponized bureaucracy. You gambled with lives. Karen left out the back. Craig tried to sneak away, but I just stared him down. Funny how the loudest people get quiet when the truth finally catches up. I went home, held my wife, kissed my son, then called a contractor. 3 weeks later, that bridge was rebuilt. Steel beams, new plank, security gate, and a custom sign. Karen Blocker, 3000. The delivery guy laughed. Hell of a name. Hell of a reason, I said. Fall came slow, gold leaves, cool air, quiet mornings. Hale acres at peace. Eli was healthy. Mallory healed. And I remembered why this land was worth every fight. After the audit, the HOA rot ran deeper than we thought. Dues misused, backroom deals. Landscaper cousin triple charging for lawns. Whole board got dissolved. One day, Gina from the new management stopped by with a box of apology letters. We're giving you full oversight of the bridge and easement, she said, shifting awkwardly. And if anyone tries dumping another kayak, tell them it's firewood next time. She laughed, nervous but genuine. Life settled, fried eggs, baby powder, late-night laughs, never eating dinner sitting down, but peace finally. The bridge, now the line in local lore, wasn't just wood and steel. It was the spot where a man finally said enough to HOA nonsense. I never wanted to be a legend, just a man protecting what was his. But sometimes that's all it takes. 2 months after the verdict, we hosted a small harvest celebration. Neighbors, friends, even some good folks from River Glen. Not the HOA drones. Real people tired of the nonsense. Someone brought a guitar. Someone else set up a documentary about HOA abuse. And before midnight out comes a giant papier-mâché trash bag with a blonde wig, Karen Queen of Compost, taped on front. Even the sheriff grinned. That's one way to compost tyranny. Later that night, when the fire was dying and the crowd thinned out, I stood by the bridge, Eli asleep in my arms, listening to the river whisper. I thought about the garbage, the bridge, the fights, the fear, and somehow all of it led right here. Sometimes the strongest walls aren't made of concrete or contracts. They're made from standing your ground quietly, fiercely, without blinking. Even when the world says you ought to fold, especially then. So tell me, what would you have done in my boots? Ever faced down an HOA and won? Drop your story or your thoughts below, because one thing's for sure, these fights aren't just about property. They're about principle. If you believe in standing your ground, or you've had to outlast a Karen or two, hit like, share, and let's hear your story. You never know whose bridge you might be helping hold up next.